but we have his father, like I said earlier, in our midst. I'm sure Lagosians and all of us here would like to hear from the father. So we'll give you just a few minutes to talk to Lagosians. Who are the road drivers? Is it true that they are Igbo? Where are they coming from? What is their history in Lagos? Over to you, sir.
Thank you. I stand on all protocols of the day. Distinguished people of the press, thank you for coming. About 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we were inundated. That's the Rose Bible family. I am the head of Rose Bible in the world, actually. And I'm also the father of Badibo. So about 2-3 weeks ago, we were inundated with a tissue of lies and fabrication, all kinds of propaganda that actually shocked us. You know, sometimes you hear something they say about you and you begin to pinch yourself. Is this really true? You begin to doubt yourself. And so I had to do a video. I did a video about that. And this video traced back with all the names and dates, all the illustrious judges and lawyers up to 100 years back. Every generation we had a lawyer, we had a doctor. My brother just retired from the Supreme Court without blemish, and that was about 2-3 years ago. That's the last one on the bench so far. But the next generation is full of lawyers too, who are intending to go on. Some of them in private practice, some to business, and some onto the bench. So I thank Afenifere because Afenifere has come out with substantial gravitas in backing us, in lifting us. You know, sometimes you are what you are, but if you don't have people around who can push you up, it can be a very lonely fight. So I thank Afenifere for what they have been doing, and thank them for what they are doing now. Afenifere, I thank you for what you are. I thank you for what you have been to the Yoruba people and what you are to the nation, Nigeria. Thank you. It is true that there's this momentum that commenced at the point of SARS, NSARS. And that momentum, because I want to put it in context now, it is the flood that is pushing up a lot of people that we are talking about now. This is not to take from the people, but the momentum itself is a momentum of character. The Nigerians had just had enough. Enough is enough. They wanted to have good government. For a change, they just wanted to have normal, decent people in position of power. That's all they ask. That's all we have had so much of the negative that the Nigerian people have been pushed to the wall. Now, this momentum itself started to look at the point of SARS. There was no body who was the face of the momentum, but the momentum itself began to look for its own officers. And it found on the national level, it found Peter Obi and Dati. We know their antecedents. They are people that we can be proud of. If I go anywhere in the world and Dati or Obi is my president, I would not be ashamed. But you can imagine when I go into Heathrow or wherever, and the person who won, the elect, is my president. You know, my passport, I begin to try and see whether I can turn the green to yellow. Because what usually happens is they just move you. Oh, yeah, stay there. You're from Nigeria. Oh, yeah, stay there. Okay, let's deal with the legitimate people first. And so I want to speak a little bit about Badibo, his my son. I know that definitely I'm biased. But, you know, I will stay with facts. I'm not talking about opinions, facts. Badebo is not a politician. He's an activist. That is his core, that is the core character of Badebo. When he came out after school, he was leading marches to the legislature. He was debating with the Minister of Agriculture. And this was the GMO thing. You see, the thing with an activist is that the activist is revolted by injustice, by anything that's unfair. Immediately he reacts and he begins to lead processions and marches and goes on TV, and so that was Badebo for you. So Badebo at heart is somebody that is just good. It's as simple as that. He's just a good man because he will react to anything negative, and he reacts violently to anything negative. He goes on marches and he does all kinds of things within the law to ensure that he's able to change the status quo. During his activism, he recognized that it would be difficult to change things as an activist, and so he decided to go back to school, did the master's in political science, and then decided to go into politics. Now, prior to this, when Badebo started school here at Chrisland, and then went on to ISL, that's the University of Lagos Secondary School. He didn't finish there, but he finished at EAB in Paris. And then this is where I noticed myself as the father that this boy was different too. There was this graduation ceremony. I was there in Paris. And the valedictorian was making his speech. But before he made his speech, he said that there is somebody here in this class. And you know, that's a white class, so the French boys. He is black. There's somebody here in this hall who is responsible for what I am today. That's the valedictorian. That's the man who led the class. And he began to tell us about Badebo, that he didn't know this valedictorian was into up on chemistry and physics, but that Badebo spent time, including going out in inclement weather where it was in winter and all that, to go and lecture him and teach him. And then now he is what he is. You can imagine how I felt. I was sitting there, and you know, he is not the valedictorian, but the valedictorian himself is admitting that this is the person who made him what he is. So you find that Badebo has this spirit of love. He has the spirit of, he can easily go into your situation and understand your situation and sit down with you and find a solution to it. This is what he brings to government. The second anecdote that I recall was one day at MIT. I called him and we were talking. He says he's spending 3 days, the third day in the studio. I said, what are you doing for 3 days straight in the studio? How you don't sleep? He said, he has a project that he wants to finish, and he's not going to leave that studio until he finishes it. Now, this is his character, and we are talking about character. But Badebo will not say that he wants to do certain things and do it halfway. He will finish it. He is rugged enough to finish it. That is Badebo for you. Finally, I want us to recognize the role of God in everything that we are doing. If the people that we are contesting against have had the treasury of Lagos State at their disposal, we are hearing that 2-3 billion, I think, goes to a certain person every month for the last 24 years. Those of you who can do math, I'm not a mathematician, you can calculate too and see whether that is not equal to the GDP of somebody. But this is what we are fighting against, and we have prevailed. And who are we? We are just normal people From Isaleko that we came and stayed. All of us went to school, were lawyers, were judges and all. But we were not politicians. We didn't go into government that we say we are massed wealth somewhere. We are not senators. We are not anybody. We don't have the funds to fight this food. But we have prevailed. That can only be God. And so I want to end by encouraging us that if we can see the writing on the wall, that it is possible to prevail against evil, then please come out on the 11th of March and make it a resounding victory for all of us. Thank you.